For Americans in uniform, few words are more welcome than at ease. And on this Sunday morning before Veterans Day, we salute a civilian who goes all out to put wounded heroes at ease, and then some. Our cover story is reported by Seth Doane.
For what seems like an eternity, our country has been fixated on the election, roller coaster ride on Wall Street, and our faltering economy. Through it all, the fact that we're a nation at war seems almost an afterthought. Lest we forget, since 2001, more than 1.5 million Americans have served in Iraq or Afghanistan, battling the Taliban, toppling the regime of Saddam Hussein. To date, 4,780 Americans have died, more than 30,000 wounded, in cities and deserts far from home. "7,000 miles and a world away, Sheldon Adelson, a veteran himself, is on a mission to make our troops a priority again, and he wants us to start with a simple thank you. You say this is about saying thank you. Is your feeling that the troops aren't being thanked enough?
Absolutely. They're not being thanked at all. They're forgotten. They're out of sight, they're out of mind.
He and his wife Miriam wanted to set an example, so they opened their hearts and their wallets, and that's saying something, considering Sheldon Adelson is CEO of the Las Vegas Sands Corporation and worth an estimated $26 billion. How did you come up with the idea of doing something and doing something on a very big scale?
Well, even though I'm a small guy, I never approached anything beyond a small scale. We're here today to say thank you to you.
Adelson began bringing wounded veterans to Las Vegas for a 5-day, 4-star, all-expense-paid vacation at one of the hotels he owns, which just happens to be the Venetian, the largest hotel in the world.
How you doing?
So early one morning, a few weeks back, 50 wounded veterans with spouses and companions left the Bethesda Naval Hospital in Maryland.
How you doing? Good. Welcome aboard. Nice to see you.
And climbed aboard Adelson's private 747.
Come on in.
It didn't take long to realize they were in for a treat.
You are on Sheldon Adelson's, one of his private jets. He has 14 of them. Oh my God. So, he's very excited to have you guys here. We have the great Venetian staff who will be serving you.
From the moment they landed, the thanks started pouring in. First from a surprise guest, Lance Armstrong.
As an American, as a father of 3 young kids, thank you. Thank you for your service, and thank you for helping to defend our freedom in our great country. Take care.
It was a memorable reception, but nothing compared to what was waiting for them at the Venetian. A full-blown walk of heroes.
Hugs, handshakes, you know, just, I couldn't even imagine something like this. When we landed, if we turned around and flew back, that would have been great.
Sam Ickes served in Iraq until a shoulder injury forced him home. His companion, Wanda Siles, was overcome by the welcome.
Seeing that outpouring of support, how was that?
Overwhelming.
Why overwhelming?
It's very humbling.
Why so emotional? What touches you here?
The support and patriotism. Overwhelming support. Everywhere you go.
Actually, it seemed to me that every person in Las Vegas was there to meet us, clapping and cheering, holding signs.
Joe Caputo is a Marine whose Humvee was hit by an IED, an improvised explosive device, while on patrol in Iraq.
You just see a flash, the explosion hit, and the driver was able to keep the vehicle from flipping over.
He lost his hearing in one ear, but miraculously escaped other serious injury.
You say this is bigger than your house?
It definitely is bigger than our house.
For Joe, his wife Nadine, and the others, the room was just the beginning.
You know, every last detail has been thought of. Everything is taken care of. It makes you feel extremely special.
There were private cabanas at the pool.
I don't even know rock stars have it this good, to be honest.
There were dinners at gourmet restaurants, a different show every night, and a paddle boat tour of nearby Lake Mead, giving the veterans a chance to unwind and unburden themselves among friends.
So where were you when you got hurt? I was...
They were so pampered, Joe Caputo couldn't help thinking of his fellow Marines still in harm's way.
I'm sitting here in Las Vegas, you know, in the lap of luxury. I've got my beautiful wife, and you know, there's guys over there right now. They're sitting there in that desert sun. They're fighting it out day and night. And,
are you conflicted about that?
Yeah, definitely conflicted. Definitely conflicted.
But for the most part, it was well-deserved R&R. Ray Hubbard was along for the trip. He too was wounded in Iraq.
These insurgents launched a missile, and that missile detonated 20 feet away from me. And my left leg was amputated below the knee. Abdomen is ripped open this way and this way. It was 11 months total at Walter Reed, and from what I know, definitely over 35 operations.
For him, a trip to Las Vegas couldn't have come at a better time.
There were weeks where I was getting out of bed for maybe 2 hours a day. You know,
because you were depressed?
Yes, absolutely. And I was depressed, I was just not feeling attractive, you know, all these scars on my body. I did not think that I could function as a normal human being anymore.
Can you ever thank somebody enough for protecting your freedom? Probably not. But I'd say that the Adelsons have said thanks in a bigger way than anybody possibly could.
Patricia Driscoll is president of the Armed Forces Foundation, a nonprofit veteran support group which organized the trip.
This is something that your nonprofit foundation, small foundation, could never, ever do.
Oh, no way.
Without the Adelsons. So
this trip alone is about $1 million. It costs over about $1 million.
$1 million?
And it's coming out of his pocket personally.
There have been 3 trips so far, with more planned. To the Adelsons, it's not about the money.
The reason why we're willing to come and talk about it is not because we want any attaboys for it. What I want to do, what we want to do, is say to other people, why don't you do something too? Somebody got to give him an attaboy. Somebody's got to put their arm around him and say, we love you, we care for you, and here's our way of saying thank you.
Judging by the smiles of the veterans, the Adelsons are onto something.
A simple thank you, it means the world. You know, it doesn't have to be extravagant. No matter what's going on that day in your life, no matter how bad your day may be, you know, when somebody just turns around and they shake your hand, they look you in the eye and they say thank you, those 2 words have such a profound effect on me personally and other Marines that I've spoken to.
There's no greater feeling than knowing that you did something that not only your mother's proud of, not only your sister says good job, but the entire country says thank you. Every time they say it, I say it was a pleasure to serve and thank you.